everyone. This is a London session, Shavyfxhub. So let's ahead of the Jackson Hole Fed meeting, an annual Federal Reserve Bank of Kansas City Economic Policy Symposium will be held in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. This is a 3-day international conference which will be attended by central bank leaders, economists, policymakers, and financial experts all over the world. The symposium focuses on discussing global economic trends, monetary policy, and financial stability. This is the gathering of financial experts. The 2025 symposium is taking place 21st August to August 23rd. The theme of this gathering will be labor market in transition, demographics, productivity, and macroeconomic policy. The event is noted for its thoughtful discussion on critical economic issues. Papers are presented on specific topics, and central bankers use the platform to gauge and signal future monetary policy direction, especially regarding interest rate decision in United States. The Federal Reserve Chairman, Sir Jerome Powell, is delivering a keynote speech at the 2025 Jackson Hole Symposium amid significant attention from market and policymakers as his tenure draws closer to an end. His speech is closely watched for indication on the future path of U.S. monetary policy, especially regarding potential rate cuts following recent weaker labor market data and inflation trend. Expectations for possible rate cuts in September following the symposiums are high. Powell is expected to maintain a data-driven approach to decisions on policy adjustment. Overall, the Jackson Hole meeting is a critical event for insight into Federal Reserve monetary policy outlook, and his rhetorics will be watched for forward guidance. So traders must pay critical attention to Sir Jerome Powell as his words carry weight across FX window. And that gives us a clear directional bias on how to trade the US 10-year Treasury bond yield, how to trade US dollar index, and gives us a clear insight into the commodity markets. Where is the oil going? It also gives us an overview of where the crypto market is headed. So it's important to pay attention to the words of Sir Jerome Powell. So let's dive straight into the structure of the market. So what you are looking at for now is a breakout of the structure. This is going to be your sell confirmation. So if we break out from here, you sell down. This is a double top structure in the month of May. Breakout of double top structure. Price create a zone of retest, and we have seen first retest, second retest after break of a double top structure, break of a neckline, and price came back here, broke the neckline. After breaking the neckline, came back here, retest. Let's put it into perspective. RT slash SR, support become resistance on break of structure, and we put this as RT slash ROS. Resistance becomes support on break of structure. Remember, the strategy is based on interchange, and we already established an interchange, and we have here as SR, support become resistance on break of structure, and this constitutes our zone. So why am I making this zone? Is for you to know price can return here, dip itself into this zone, and get rejected. So this is so you must create a zone when you make a trend line, make a zone, make a zone. There's nothing that is perfect in the market. The market can come there and reject. And let's go back so that put into perspective. So this is why you've seen here a series of RS resistance become support and break of structure, RT, RS. And after the break of that neckline, so market created a very distant zone and create series of ROS, RT. These are all retests to the breakout of the to the retest of the neckline of this double top structure. And you have seen price return here. And so you can also see price come down here and also reject back. And the second one is going to be at this level, which has already been pointed out. So this will constitute another, and I also want to put into perspective. So now we have an ascending trend line ATL, and we have here as RS resistance becomes support on breaker structure. I'm looking for an interchange, remember? And my interchange, I want to lock my interchange on intraday, 3 hours, 4 hours, where SR meet ROS or where ROS meets SR. And I have here as SR. And an interchange is born. So on this now, I now made my ascending trend line 8 here. And these are subsequent retests. That's a zone. And when price return here, after retesting first breaker structure, this is an interchange established and price return here to give me another RS. And I'm looking for subsequent structural changes to begin to figure out my retest zone. And you can see, you look on your line chart, you see when price return there. I can call it my RT slash RS. If you still want to maintain resistance, becomes but that's okay. That's your choice. That's your choice. But the most important thing is that we're using the interchange as a litmus test, and price returns here as a RTSR. It's a retest candle, and as well support become resistance on breaker structure, and the price returns again. And when we broke that structure to SR level, RTSR1, RTSR2, breaker structure, price returns here on retest. So on technical, that became a sell zone after breaker structure. And you have seen that BTC took a dive from there. And from the top side, if you look critically, you'll see that we have another structure here. It's a strong weak rejection, and we are locking two structures. We are locking here on 4 hours. Look at it from your line chart. We have here a support structure. We have here a resistance structure. In fact, the 2 points are giving us an impetus, and when price returned, we respected it, went back to retest a broken ascending trend line, and we have using that momentum to break our descending trend line, and we retested and we continue selling in line with the structure of the market. It's in line. So let's also put it into perspective. We have here as a RS1 resistance becomes support and breaker structure. We have another one resistance becomes support and breaker structure. We have another one resistance becomes support and breaker structure. And we have another one resistance becomes support and breaker structure. And lastly, another strong, beautiful, and lovely weak rejection before price came from the W structure, broke it, and created a new all-time high. And when price returned, it formed SR. After breaker structure, that's also support become resistance, and also a retest candle to a structure. What structure was broken? One, two, three, four, five. Five descending trend line acting as dynamic resistance to upswing. And I will call it a descending trend line, DTL here. So when we return, we respected that structure again. So that makes it RT RT slash SR. And when we came back, because we went up to retest an ascending trend line ATL, ROS1, SR1, SR2, ROS3, ROS4, SR4, SR5, SR6, break of SR, price came here retest, making the RT slash ROS. It's a retest candle and as well retest to a broken structure, and you have seen that sell. So when we came back, we picked liquidity from there and broke that descending trend line, and we retested it. After the retest, I will also call the retest RT ROS, and you have seen market continue to plummet. And of course, at this level, we have a very strong, a very strong structure over here. and the market did not violate that structure. There is a structure here which was evident on 3 hours. It was a beautiful structure on 3 hours. You see it on 3 hours. Maybe on 4 hours it wasn't really clear, but it was actually clear for me. I saw it on 3 hours. That was a very clear structure on 3 hours. Yes. So I also want to put into perspective everything anything I do here, I'll put it into perspective. Everything, how to do this thing, you know. So we have here as our support become resistance and breaker structure, and we have here as our support become resistance and breaker structure, and we have here as RS and resistance becomes a breaker structure. I always put everything into perspective. Everything I put into perspective, and you go back and you have seen that reaction over there. That is what the market failed to exceed that level. It didn't exceed that level and it has dropped. So let's go back to 4 hours, and the floor remains a potent floor. And I want to take this thing away so that I want to watch a breakout of that line. That's my buy confirmation. I mean, sell confirmation or sell continuation. You want to continue selling, but you need a reason. So if market comes here breakout, then you wait for it to retest. If it comes back, then you continue selling. So I call it sell continuation. And let me drop one buy idea. The buy idea is going to be on this descending trend line. And yes, so it's going to be on this descending trend line. Please let's not forget Jackson Hole, very important to everyone, very, very important. That's a very strong economic symposium. So we have here as SR support become resistance and breaker structure one, and we have another one support become resistance and breaker structure two, and we have another one support become resistance and breaker structure three, and as well retest candle because it's coming from a previous structure. And I want to change the color to suit mindsets. And on that black descending trend line, it's expected that buyers should find demand on this descending trend line because it's acting as a dynamic support to downswing, and price has demonstrated such impetus twice. So we'll rely on what to do, and we're looking at it. So I think at the moment it's and you see, this is how trading works. If you clone the structure and you take it and you place it here, it gives you a sell zone to drop down here. Very simple. Very, very simple. Just sell down. This is how it works. It's well calibrated. So let's look down here. Before we had this breakout that create this all-time high, I'm looking at the price action that gave birth to that, and also a potential retest into that price action. And I would also like to put into perspective, know how to do this. Everything is put into perspective. No oversight. Please avoid oversight in trading. No oversight, no assumption. No oversight, no assumption. So that is why I want to change the color of this thing. Maybe you should change it. I want something that will make me okay. Yes, I do like this purple color. So let's put this into perspective, and I want to use bubble. There is a price action here. There is a price action here. If you look at it on a line chart, this is a double top structure. Break of the neckline, ROS, RT1, ROS, RT2, RS RT3, RS RT4, break of structure, price return here as RTSR. If price returns here, you expect a buy there. There's a buy structure here. There's a buy structure here. I expect a buy structure at this level. So let me drop that idea, and there is a buy structure here, and I'm going to put it up. There's a demand floor there. There is a demand floor at that level. So let's put into perspective. Let's put into perspective demand floor. And the next one is going to be here. So trading is an educational series. If you are a trader and you are following the path of trading education, I want to encourage you to be very patient. Don't be eager to make big profit, but focus on mass, to understand the education. But I will tell you for free, there is no forex trader that will ever be a poor person. This is my word. Go and mark it. If you become a genuine forex trader today, you can never be poor. You can never. It's impossible to be poor as a genuine forex trader, except what you are doing is not forex. You are doing something else. Except you are doing something else and you mask it as forex. But as long as you want to do forex trading, you can never be poor. It is impossible. I said it is impossible. You cannot be poor. So please take time, understand the structure of the market, and I think this guy is coming down here, and I'm going to evaluate it to see what happens there, and you know, let's just leave it that way. That one line is okay. So I think we're going to stop here for now. So that's all we have for now. Bye.